What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video, and in today's video we have a really exciting topic to talk about. For those of you who haven't already heard, that's right, you guys, we now know what the next collaboration in the King of Fighters All-Star is going to be, and it's none other than Virtua Fighter 5. I never thought I'd be saying those words in one of these videos, but here we are. In today's video, we're going to go ahead and tour the new website for the collaboration. We're going to take a look at the teaser trailer. We're going to talk about some in-game events that are already live in the King of Fighters All-Star, and a lot more. But before we go ahead and get into all of that and more, make sure if you guys haven't already done so, you smash that like button and subscribe, and let's just go ahead and get into today's topic. Now, I do apologize right off the bat here at the beginning for you guys if I sound like I'm a little bit under the weather. Allergies are killing me this year, so I'm like dying like in this area of my body. So it's not been a good time, but we're going to try and get through it. So for those of you who did not see the news that broke late last night, Virtua Fighter 5 is the next collaboration for the King of Fighters All-Star. And I get the feeling that this is going to be a divisive collaboration, but it really shouldn't be. This is one of the coolest choices that they possibly could have made. And the reason I say that is because the King of Fighters All-Star, over the course of the past several years, has really proven itself to be one thing, and that is going to be a love letter to fighting game franchises. This is a game that, love it or hate it, whether you guys appreciate what the King of Fighters All-Star has done with their collaborations or not, what they've really done here is they have brought together more fighting game franchises under one roof and put together kind of the Super Smash Brothers of fighting game IPs for one mobile game that you will never see ever again. Like, this is something that we will never see another mobile game accomplish, and it's pretty impressive what the King of Fighters All-Star dev team has done in that capacity. And so for those reasons, I tip my hat to them, because Virtua Fighter 5 is a almost 20-year-old game. The last Virtua Fighter game came out in 2005. So let that sink in. Virtua Fighter 5 is now like 16, 17 years old. It's crazy to me that we are doing this right now, but here we are. So for those of you who are unaware, Virtua Fighter 5 is actually recognized as being pretty much the granddaddy, the first ever polygon-based fighting game. So basically, for those of you out there who love games like Tekken or any of the 3D fighting franchises that came after Virtua Fighter, you have Virtua Fighter to thank for that. In fact, it's actually recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as being the first polygon-based 3D fighting game. And so for those reasons, Virtua Fighter is cemented in history as being one of the most influential and important fighting game franchises of all time. That is still, to this day, why there is such a die-hard amount of fans out there for this franchise, and that isn't even getting into how much the Virtua Fighter differs in its gameplay mechanics from all these other fighting games, because it is a very simplified version of a fighting game, or at least what we see and view as a classic fighting game in this day and age, and it really does stand the test of time as being one of the more challenging and unique fighting game experiences that you could partake in, on top of the fact that it is just so influential. And I highly recommend to those of you who do not know what Virtua Fighter is to go back and do a little bit of digging and look into some information on it and do some studying up on it, because it's just really cool history to know about the fighting game genre as a whole. And so that's why when I saw this get announced, my immediate reaction was hype, because this is really, really exciting, not just for us as the King of Fighters All-Star fan base, but also for the Virtua Fighter fan base that has pretty much been starved for new content for a real long time now, and it's really sad. Now, of course, they have had a re-release of Virtua Fighter 5 more recently, but that isn't to say that they have had a proper installment since Virtua Fighter 5 came out back in 2005, right? So this is really, really cool. And we're going to go through the website here. I'm done kind of opining and giving you guys kind of a brief history lesson on Virtua Fighter. Let's just go ahead and get into the collaboration website. So I will have links in the description to all this stuff for you guys, but let's just go ahead and hop into it. So right off the bat, we have the splash page here. We have Akira facing off against Kyo, and honestly, these character pairings here are just absolute dreams for people who are huge fighting game fans. This is wild stuff, real wild stuff. To see these characters facing off against each other, just this splash image, which will probably be our login screen, I'd imagine, is super, super cool. Love to see it. Now, let's take a look at the collaboration teaser trailer. For those of you who want to go through it, there is a little bit of a history of Virtua Fighter thing here. I'm going to attempt to get through this without having to just, oh, my face, allergies. But let's watch the trailer here. So first of all, let's mute that because it's a little loud. I definitely recommend that you guys go in and watch this though for yourselves. It's really, really cool. And again, just, it's awesome to see these characters. I could not believe this. This would have been the last thing. I would have seen Darkstalkers in my mind before I would have seen Virtua Fighter. We'll put it that way. That's how much I did not expect Virtua Fighter to show up. But here we are. So yeah, guys, we'll talk about the character roster and we'll talk about what we're looking at as far as some of the things they've confirmed thus far, but that's what we're seeing there as far as the trailer's concerned. So looking at it there, guys, wild stuff. Cannot believe that we are seeing Virtua Fighter 5 in the King of Fighters All-Star. So in this trailer, one thing I do want to point out before we kind of move on and talk about the rest of this website, and then we actually have some other stuff we need to talk about too. They do show the characters, each one of the 4 non-poly characters here, which we'll talk about those poly characters as well, but they don't show any gameplay outside of 2 characters in particular. So they show Jackie and they show Sarah, but they don't show anybody else's gameplay. This has me wondering if we are going to get a split banner where we're going to see Jackie and Sarah represented on the first banner, and then the second banner will be, of course, Pi and Akira. That's just my assumption. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm thinking that that might be what they're hinting at in this little kind of teaser here, because this isn't a proper trailer quite yet. It is a teaser though. Now, one other thing I do want to point out, we'll go back just a little bit here. I want to point something out, and this isn't confirmed information, so don't take it for gospel. But I do want to point something out here, and I pointed this out on the Discord last night. So Netmarble has a really bad habit, or good habit, depending on how you look at it, of giving away the typings of these characters with their backgrounds in their initial images. And if we take a look here, we see a red, a green, a blue, and a yellow background, like aura effect, right? So I'm wondering if that's going to be the colorings for these characters, which would be really cool because honestly, the characters I want the most are Jackie and Akira. Those are the 2 characters I want the most. Although honestly, all these characters would be cool to have. It's just really cool to see these characters in this game. It's wild. But with that said, being that Jackie might be a yellow, that'd be nice. And being that Sarah might be a blue, that would be even cooler if they're on the same banner, because I will definitely take those for my yellow and my blue teams respectively. But that's what we got there as far as the trailer, guys. Very hard to tell anything else from this trailer, really. There's not a whole lot else. There is a little bit of gameplay, like I said, for the siblings, but unfortunately, when it comes to what we see here, outside of seeing a little bit of what we're probably going to get for their 3 PGs, and then maybe a skill or 2, we don't get a lot of information here, so we'll have to wait and see. So that is what we've got as far as the trailer, guys. Again, links will be in the description for all this stuff. So with that said, let's move on here and take a look at the roster. So we are getting 4 unique characters, and then we're getting 2 polygon characters. And I know that this is a bit of a subject of contention for some people out there. However, for me personally, as a fighting game fan, just as an observer, I'm not, some MLG player, I've always told you guys that, but as a fighting game fan and observer for my entire life, seeing these characters here, especially these poly versions, which we'll talk about, I was blown away by that. I thought it was such a cool, unique way of doing things, and anything that gets us into kind of more adventurous, kind of different character designs and models is something that I'm down for. We've never had polygon characters, and I think it's a really fun little idea that kind of harkens back and pays homage to the fact that Virtua Fighter, as I have already established at the beginning of this video, is the granddaddy of these polygon-based 3D fighting games. And I think that as just a really cool way to represent that in the King of Fighters All-Star. Because if it wouldn't have been for this franchise, the King of Fighters All-Star and a lot of your other favorite franchises may not have ever come to fruition. So let's take a look here. We have Akira Yuki here. Of course, he is going to be the poster child for the franchise. So then you've got kind of your main character, your Kyo, your Ryu, type character for the franchise for those of you. And I know that Virtua Fighter is kind of an old franchise that, again, has been kind of just out of the sphere of the fighting game universe for a little while now, although recently it's started to kind of have a little bit of a revival. Not a big one, but it's starting to at least get a little bit of attention again. So for those of you who do not know, that's Akira there. He's kind of just your main character protagonist type. Then we've got Pai-chan here, and they do have little histories on the characters for people who don't know who they are, so that's cool too. Pai-chan, I've seen some people disrespecting her by just saying that she's Chun-Li, which, no, she's Pai-chan. Leave her alone. Do some research. Jackie Bryant, who is the character, like I said, besides Akira, that I want the most. People are already comparing him to Rock Howard, but at the same time, this is a really, really cool character, really fun character. Him and his sister Sarah here are Jeet Kune Do experts, and yeah, you can go again, read through this. This is a really fun little thing here that they give us to kind of go through the histories of the characters. But those are going to be the 4 characters that are going to have been featured in the trailer that we just saw, and they're going to be your main roster characters, right? I'm assuming that Sarah and Jackie will be on a banner together, again, maybe on the first banner, and then Pai-chan and Akira on the second banner, would be my assumption. Now, let's talk about the free character. The free character is the original style Polygon Akira. Now, this right here, I hope to God, I made a post about this in the Discord and on my community page. I hope to God this is the meta. I hope this is the meta going forward. I hope this character is just busted beyond all get out, because that to me is worth the meme just by itself. But this original style Akira is the free character. They actually confirm it down here. You have a chance to obtain EX Collab fighters for free. Get the original style Akira right now. So this is going to be a character we're probably going to be able to get on day 1. He's going to be an EX character, and he's going to be free. That is what they are confirming here from the looks of it. So he is going to be an EX fighter, and yeah, who doesn't want a Polygon style EX fighter that's broken in this game? I know I do. So that is your free character. And speaking of free characters, potentially, original style Sarah is also here. She looks absolutely ridiculous and awesome at the same time. Sorry, allergies again. But this character is looking phenomenal. And again, the history behind all this, the fact that we're getting Virtua Fighter in general, to me is just an absolute win. And to see these Polygon characters in here is just icing on the cake. It's just more sugar sprinkled on top of my sugar. I love it. It's great. So we're getting the 2 Polygon style characters. Sarah, I'm not sure where they're going to incorporate her exactly. We know again that Akira will be free, so I'm assuming maybe she'll be the character. She could end up being the character as like the 3rd on each banner, maybe. But I don't know. She could be free. We do not know. It's hard to tell based on this. They don't really go into any detail anywhere in here that I remember seeing on her. But again, 2 Polygon characters and the regular characters for the roster. We get a mix of the male and the female characters. And at the end of the day, that makes me real happy. So that's what we got as far as the roster choices are concerned. Let's take a look at the Collab Celebration events. Event number 1, we already talked about. We are getting that free original style Akira that will be an EX Collab fighter. We are going to have the Collab login event. There's going to be a login during the Collab period for Collab rewards. We are going to have these special Collab events. The Dream Match and exclusive dungeon featuring Collab fighters is now available. We'll talk about what's available right now. There's some like pre-release stuff going on right now that's actually in-game as we speak, we'll talk about. And then event 4 here is going to experience the Collab story, experience the story of Virtua Fighter, and obtain various rewards. So that's what we got on here, guys. There is going to be a special Collab coupon. We don't know what that's going to be quite yet, but that is what we got as far as the Collab website. Again, guys, go check it out. Links in the description. It looks fantastic. I'm so happy about this. So let's talk about the in-game events. So we do have some in-game events. So basically late last night, along with the announcement of the collaboration, we got this event schedule as well. This came out pretty much right as all this stuff went up. So we do have a login event for some time-limited rubies. If we go in here, it's already live. You guys can see it. There it is, the time-limited rubies that we will be getting for the collaboration event. So those are going to be good through the 29th, and the collaboration is on the 25th, as you guys have already seen and we've established. So that is what we got as far as the login event. You'll have several days to use those. Hopefully they just release all the banners at one time, so that way we can use those on both. Otherwise, with that 4-day grace period after the collab starts, we may not have the ability to do that. We'll see. I don't know what the schedule obviously is going to be on any of that, so time will tell. We have a carnival event. Carnival event comes along with a world drop event. Basically, for the carnival, you need coins. The coins come from these different places: the Advent Dungeon, the Hall of Elements, the League Match, and Absolute War. That's where you can get those. So as we can take a look here and see in the carnival event page, which is already live, as I've mentioned, you guys will see what you get for this. And yeah, overall, we can't see what's in the special reward box, so we'll see. But when it comes to the mystery boxes, you guys will notice that the Virtua Fighter 5 Fighter Summon and the Virtua Fighter Battle Card Summon tickets are in here. So you guys can pick those up. It is just a singular ticket. It's not a multi, but it is still in there. And you do get a healthy amount of them going through and doing the mileage on this. So just make sure that you're going in, you're playing these different events every day. These should mostly be like daily events that you're doing anyway. So shouldn't be anything too difficult. Other things that they do list here, again, just the rewards that are going to be in the mystery boxes. So that's pretty much what you've got as far as what we're going to be getting in there, the acquirable items here. And then again, this is going to be the mileage rewards. I don't know why they didn't just post the photo. Would have been easier than to go ahead and make this giant thing, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, basically with the carnival, pretty easy stuff. Final reward, we'll have to wait and see what we're taking a look at in here. But overall, pretty happy with what we're seeing. Maybe, I don't know. It'll be that Polygon Akira, who knows? But that is what we got going on there. So Dream Match Season 12 is here. They did add Mai and Kula, so there's that. You get some new badges here, so that's that. Not anything really to write home about. They do have the schedule here, and of course, pretty much as we've talked about. And actually, the use by date on the time limited rubies says 5/5 here. So let's go back up here and take a look at this, because it did say the 29th. Event schedule 4/17 to 4/20. All right, so you'll be able to use them till 5/5. So we don't have to worry about the fact that there might be 2 banners you'll be able to use. Don't worry about it. So until 5/5, you can use those time limited rubies. It's just that that login bonus event is only going until the 29th. So little clarification on that one. So that is going to be the in-game events that we currently have going on, guys. Like I said, should be fairly easy stuff for the most part. Not anything that we really need to write home about. So yeah, overall, guys, cool stuff. Glad that they just kind of shadow dropped all that on us last night. That was really fun to just kind of experience with the community. I was in the Discord having fun with everybody, talking about all this stuff myself. It was a great time. I'm so happy this is happening. Whether you are a huge Virtua Fighter person or not, this is just historical for this game. It's really, really interesting. It's really different, and it's really shocking. It's such a cool inclusion. I know people have wanted it, but I don't think a lot of people really thought that it might actually happen, right? So Virtua Fighter 5 collaboration, SNS sharing and certification event. I just wanted to throw this in here at the end just for you guys that might want to partake in it. You can go ahead and go on Facebook and share the official video and go ahead and do the different things that they want you to do here in order to put in for some potential draw rewards. 50 lucky winners will get a multi for the Virtua Fighter 5 characters and the battle cards. Again, allergies, sorry. But the rewards upon reaching the goal, everybody gets a multi for the fighters and the battle cards respectively in here as well. So I definitely recommend you guys go and check this out. Again, I'll have a link in the description to this, so that way everybody can partake, and we can hopefully all as a community get those 3,000 likes and shares and get these rewards. So anyway, you guys, that is what we've got for the collaboration. Basically, you guys know me already. I have allergies. And coffee, so I'm a little bit better. But jokes aside, this collaboration to me is absolutely awesome. I think that this is an amazing inclusion. It's really cool to see these characters from Virtua Fighter in the kind of King of Fighters All-Star art style. I think that's really cool. I just think it's cool that Virtua Fighter's getting some love. It's getting some recognition. It's getting some much deserved love and recognition too, based on what we've already talked about. And overall, guys, this is something that I welcome personally. I think this is a really fun, really interesting collaboration for this game. And I love the fact that, again, this game has become such a love letter to the fighting game IPs of old as well as new. It's just really, really cool to see. But anyway, you guys, let me know in the comments section down below what you think about all this stuff. Again, I know it might be a bit divisive for some because a lot of people that play this game probably have never even seen a Virtua Fighter game because, well, I'm old. But with that said, it's still a really cool inclusion. I highly recommend you go do some research on it because it's really interesting just from a historical standpoint. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Let me know your comments in the comments section down below as far as your opinions are concerned about this collaboration. And until the next one, you all take care. Peace.
Continue.